Modals we can call modal verbs. Modals are helping verbs that express things like advice, opinion, suggestion, obligation, necessity, ability, possibility, or permission. And today I picked up few modals to explain you. Not all modals, but these modals are very important to use in daily life. Should, ought, had better, must, need to, have to. First, I explain modals should and ought. Should and ought, we use them for advice and opinion and suggestion. Subject plus should plus base verb. Subject plus shouldn't or should not. Shouldn't is a short form. Full form is should not. Plus base verb. Subject plus ought plus base verb. For should we have a negative should, shouldn't, or should not. But for ought, it doesn't have negative. It has only positive form only. For example, you should make hotel reservation in advance. You is a subject. Should is a modal. Make is a main verb. So main verb after modals don't add s, don't add ed or any ing. That we call base verb. Base verb we can call base verb. Base verb we can call base form, infinitive, or verb word. You oft make hotel reservations in advance. Should and ought have the same meaning, but should is very common. People like to say should, like to use should. But if we compare the levels of advice, should is higher than ought. You shouldn't pack too many clothes. So for negative, we can use only shouldn't or should not. We don't have any negative form of ought. So should and ought is used for advice, and opinion, or suggestion. For strong advice, and it's also a warning. Advice and warnings we use had better. And had better is a kind of advice. If we don't follow this advice, something bad will happen. Had better, negative of had better is had better not. Had better not plus base verb. For example, you had better go with friends. You had better not go alone. So it's a kind of strong advice that warns someone. If you go alone, when you have any problem, no one helps you. But go with friends, when you have problem, your friends can help you. Especially at night, you had better not go alone. It's a kind of advice and warning. So continue to modals that we use for obligation and necessity. Must, need to, have to. Have to, sometimes we use has to, it depends on the subject. But must is the strongest for obligation and necessity. And must, we use it for obligation and law. Subject plus must plus base verb. Subject plus have to plus base verb. Subject plus need to plus base verb. Negative of must is must not. Negative of have to is don't have to. Negative of need to is don't need to. For example, you must have health insurance. You need to be over 21 or over. You have to get a passport. You don't have to get vaccinations. So I provide more example that is about travel advisor and we analyze all together. You must have a valid passport to travel overseas. So must be used for obligation and necessity. But this one we should use must because it's a kind of law. Law of each country requires we have a valid passport. You often make a copy of your passport and keep it in a secure place. So opt make a copy. This one is a kind of a advice, an opinion or suggestion. If you don't want to use opt, you can use you should make a copy. It is still correct. When you fly, you should keep important things in your carry-on bag, such as your medication and ATM card. You shouldn't pack them in your checked luggage. So we use should in these statements to express advice. And we don't use had better for these statements because had better is a kind of advice and warning. But this one just a advice. You want to use opt can be possible, but you want not to express the advice, the high levels of advice that is important. So you should. And should is very common. People like to say should. You should try some local specialty, but you had better avoid the stores on the street. You shouldn't drink tap water. Should and had better are advice. You should try some local specialty is advice. But you should try some of local specialty. Should this time just only an opinion or suggest someone to try some of local foods specialty. It's not advice for this time, just only a opinion or suggestion. But you had better avoid the stall on the street. This one had better be used for advice and warning. If we eat food at the store on the street, maybe we have the problem with our stomach. We get sick or hurt, or we have diarrhea or stomach ache. That's why we use a strong advice had better. You shouldn't drink tap water. This one is an advice. You shouldn't drink tap water. You can say you had better not drink tap water if you would like to express advice that warns someone. Don't drink tap water. Again, if you want to give advice and you want somebody not to do something, but if they don't follow this advice, something bad will happen. So you had better. But just only a general advice, you can use should or shouldn't. You better buy travel insurance before you leave your country. So you'd better, I mean you had better. This is short form. So most country require you have a insurance. It's a kind of travel insurance. If you don't have this, you are not allowed to enter the country. This is strong advice, so we use you better. No travel insurance, not allowed to enter the country. Not allowed to travel to the country, that's why this is the strong advice. We use you better. In most countries, you don't have to have an international driver's license, but you have to carry a license from your own country. You also need to be 21 or over. So you don't have to have an international driver license. It's a kind of necessity. But you have to carry a license from your own countries. Yeah, have to. This one we use a for necessity and obligation. You also need to be 21. If you don't want to say you need to be, you can say you also have to be. But in writing or speaking, we don't like to say have to all the time. That's why we use need to instead of have to. So needs to is necessity. You'd better keep a copy of your credit card numbers at the hotel. Had better here is a strong advice. And warning, in case you lose a credit card and you don't remember the number, but if you have the copy one, you can use it. And you shouldn't carry a lot of cash when you go out. It's a kind of general advice. But if you want to express warning, you can say, and you had better not carry a lot of cash when you go out. You can say like this if you would like to give advice and warn. So it's time to practice. Choose the correct model. Number one, you blah 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 buy a round trip plane ticket because it's cheaper. Must or should you choose the correct model? Number two, you blah 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 check out the most hotel rooms by noon if you don't want to pay for another night. Must or should you choose the correct modal verbs? 3. Many airlines don't serve food, so passengers on long flights probably must or opt buy something to eat at the airport, so choose the correct one. And I will give the answer in the description. If you have any question, you can write your question in the comment and subscribe my channel if you think that it is very useful. You would like to study more. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.